In the northernmost part of the sleepy town of Harrisville, there lies a mysterious tunnel that is seemingly infinite, changing length every day. Inside, there are many people, objects, and of course, yokai to be found. While this just seems like a daily dungeon for the player to complete and reap great rewards from, something about it seems a bit off. The events, the changing scenery, the mysterious people, and the rare yokai all seem to be too strange to be a mere coincidence. This area of the game seems to be hiding a great mystery, but what could it be? YW2's spoilers lie ahead, mostly about the infinite tunnel. If you haven't visited the tunnel 6 times yet, you have been warned. To find out the truth about this area, we should first take a look at some of the infinite tunnel's most mysterious qualities, such as the people inside, the player's ability, or lack thereof, to change the length of the tunnel at will, the changing scenery, and perhaps most mysterious of all, the girl at the end of the tunnel. This information was mostly gathered from a Yokai Watch wiki and a video that YW2's made. Links to both will be in the description. First, the tunnel is seemingly infinite, with lengths changing each time you enter. The sign at the front confirms this. Second, some NPCs in the tunnel allow you to control the distance of the tunnel based on answers you choose. For example, if the Tangler asks you, imagine you're standing alone in a dark room crying. What happened? Why is it that you're crying? And you reply, because I'm happy. The exit will be further away from you. These responses will always warrant the same change in the tunnel, and responses relating to items or yokai will always give an item or yokai. Third, many of the NPCs in the tunnel seem very random, almost insane or dreamlike. Some of them even refer to the player by name. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, there is a girl at the end of the tunnel named Moody Mary, who claims to have created the tunnel. She appears to be very powerful, as she created a boss that she causes the player to fight, Malice. Despite this, she has no clue what a yokai medal, or even yokai are. We can surmise that she doesn't know what yokai are, due to the fact that the word yokai medal confused her, not just medal. Therefore, she doesn't recognize the word yokai. So, how does Moody Mary have these great powers? Let's go over them. She can hover, create illusions. To quote her, I suppose I have a way of making the unreal seem real. And most notably, create monsters from her nightmares. However, she's not a yokai, and her icon on the minimap shows that she is a human. So, how is a regular human able to control the fabric of reality? And how is it possible that the player has an extent of this power as well? Remember, the player can control the length of the tunnel as well, even if it's just a little influence. So, the question we need to answer now is, how are humans able to control the fabric of reality? This question can potentially answer other questions, like, why hasn't Moody Mary taken over the human world with her powers? And even, why is the infinite tunnel so weird? Here's what I think the infinite tunnel really is: a lucid dream. Once we realize that the infinite tunnel is a lucid dream, more pieces fall into place. The random encounters make a lot more sense, since they are random pieces of Moody Mary's and the player's subconscious mind. Malice, or rather his title as the culmination of Moody Mary's nightmares, makes much more sense when he appears in a lucid dream world. And of course, Moody Mary's powers, and the player's small extent of them, make perfect sense in a lucid dream world. This world is one created by her, so she is free to fly around and create monsters and infinite tunnels alike. However, this statement creates another question. Why would Moody Mary create this world? Why doesn't she wake up and live with the rest of society? The answer to that is quite simple. She hasn't been treated well by society. To find an example, we don't even need to look further than her nickname, Moody Mary. When she introduces herself, she says the following: "Everyone calls me Moody Mary. They say I'm just a gloomy crybaby." She doesn't say, "You can call me Moody Mary," or "I'm Moody Mary." She chooses to say, "Everyone calls me Moody Mary." Society gave her this nickname, since she's just a gloomy crybaby in their eyes. From here, it's safe to assume that Moody Mary is unpopular in the real world, and likely bullied. Still not convinced as to why Moody Mary fled the real world in favor of lucid dreams? Well, there's still one more piece of evidence that she wasn't treated well in the real world: Malice. Malice, if you recall, is a creature that is a manifestation of Moody Mary's worst nightmares. However, when we talk to Malice on our 5th and 6th Infinite Tunnel runs, he claims to be Moody Mary's father. From there, it's safe to assume that Moody Mary's father is, well, not a very nice person. So, between bullies and her crazy father to deal with, it's no wonder that she spends so much of her time lucid dreaming, in a world where she has complete control, in a world where she can't be bullied or hurt by anybody. Yet, somehow, the player is able to enter Moody Mary's dream. Once again, this can be explained. The yokai Bakulia has the ability to enter other people's dreams and bring others along for the ride. This means that it is entirely possible for somebody to enter another person's dreams in the Yokai Watch universe. There is also evidence of this occurring, namely the fact that the tunnel is overrun with yokai, despite Moody Mary, the creator of the tunnel, not even knowing what a yokai is. If Moody Mary didn't create these creatures, or bring them into the dream, who did? The answer is the only person who can bring them into the tunnel, Bakulia. It's also likely that yokai enter the same way we do, through the brick wall in Harrisville. In fact, this is supported by the fact that nobody in Harrisville mentions the tunnel, which is strange because it seems like a landmark that the game would want to steer you toward via NPC. Also, it seems a little odd that nobody in the town mentions the mysterious tunnel on the northern edge of town, as it seems like the kind of thing that you might notice and talk to somebody about. There's one explanation for this, however, and it's that they can't see it, but the player can because they have the Yokai Watch. It's been done before with the Mount Wildwood tree, so who's to say it can't happen again? There's one more thing I'd like to mention, and that's the relationship between the player and Moody Mary. The tunnel has a constant feeling of loneliness, and it does an excellent job of capturing this. The claustrophobic tunnel and the creepy echoes make you feel like there's no way out. However, the player is not the only person who feels alone in this tunnel. Moody Mary feels this way as well. If you'll recall, Moody Mary is the one who causes Malice to attack us. This seemingly odd behavior can be explained. She's testing us. Think about it. Her entire world has been inside of this lucid dream for who knows how long, where she is the only real person inside of it. It's extremely liberating, yet at the same time, extremely lonely. Enter the player, who reaches the end of the tunnel. Moody Mary notices the player may be a real human, so she summons Malice to test the player. After the player reaches the end a few more times, she tells Malice that someone made her cry. On the next completion of the Infinite Tunnel, Moody Mary tells Malice that it was the player who made her cry, even though they didn't. The reason she does this is to test our strength, since she knows that only a real person could defeat something so powerful. The final nail in the coffin for this theory is the first thing that Moody Mary says after the player defeats Malice. So here's the real story of the Infinite Tunnel. Moody Mary, after being ostracized by everybody in the real world, discovers another world, the world of lucid dreaming. She eventually masters the technique, creating a world where she has full control and does whatever she wants. She doesn't need to listen to society's cruelty any longer. She is free to do whatever she feels. Eventually, Bakulia discovers this amazing dream world that Moody Mary has created and brings many yokai into the tunnel where they can do whatever they like too. Eventually, the player explores the tunnel that Moody Mary has created. When the player reaches the end of the tunnel, Moody Mary sees them. Impressed by their power, she later causes her nightmare, Malice, to fight the player as a test of sorts. Once she knows for sure that the player is not a figment of her dreams, but rather a real person, she befriends them and gives them a reward every time they complete her tunnel. And that, my friends, is the secret of the Infinite Tunnel of Harrisville.